Welcome back to Business Daily on Trust TV, and on this show we talk about business trends that affect us as a country, Nigeria individually, and even on the global scene. Now today, as I said earlier, we're looking at cryptocurrency and blockchain, its uses, its impact on the Nigerian business scene, and maybe hone it down a bit more to the small, medium, and mini enterprises, which actually makes a bulk of our business scene in the country. Joining me in the studio to have this conversation and delving further is Nwafor Johnson, a blockchain and crypto expert. He's equally a business leader and educator and founder Hebron Blockchain Academy. Now we'll be joined virtually by Obinna Iwonu, head of business and compliance at CBC Blockchain, who's also the president of SABAN, which means Stakeholders in Blockchain Technology Association of Nigeria. Thank you. But while we're waiting for Obinna to join us, we'll start with Mr. Nwafor Johnson. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me here.
Yes, it's a pleasure. Yeah. So let's get down to it. Cryptocurrency it's a global trend. It's been there. We see a lot of things happening. There are many names for them. We have the major one, which is the Bitcoin, and of course the rest of them. And but somehow even I still find it kind of complex. I needed to understand what it entails. Can you give us in basic, explain it for us in the way we could understand better?
All right, so thank you very much. I really appreciate what Trust TV is doing over the years, and we have been hitting the part of education. Education is very important. So cryptocurrencies have been here for long, since 2009, where we have the Bitcoin on the blockchain network. So Nigerians have interestingly adapted to the use of cryptocurrency, and I think we are one of the most adopting nations when it comes to use of cryptocurrency. And as simple as it sounds, is cryptocurrencies are just assets that are digitized on the blockchain, and they have value attached to it because they are backed by companies that are working on different projects. So cryptocurrencies can be used for making payments, cross-border payments. We have seen a lot of projects that have solved issues of cross-border payments. We have seen companies that have built projects to cover identity issues, for land entitlements, and a lot. So those projects actually makes up what gives the currencies those value, and we have seen Bitcoin actually helping with that and helping with a lot of cross-border issues payment that we have been seeing over the years.
Okay, so now, so you talk it's some sort of currency.
Yes.
Yes, well, as the name implies, cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
However, how is it different from traditional currencies?
Okay, so I think one of the basic things that have made it so lovely and interesting is the centralized nature of it. Okay. You don't have a middleman which controls how you do the payment, who is transacting, why must you do this part, you have to do identification before you'll be able to do. So that decentralized nature, the security nature, actually makes it more trustworthy, that we say, okay, this particular token is 10 million in supply, right?
Okay.
And you can actually go on chain, can vet it, can verify that it's only 10 million that is being printed. Nobody can come and say, okay, we are adding 50 million to it. So that decentralized nature, the openness that everybody can verify, actually made it a little bit different from the centralized system that we have been seeing, because you don't really know the total number of circulation of, let's say, dollar or naira per se, because they can wake up and print, right? But we are seeing a situation where people can actually vet what is backing this particular token, how many of these tokens are in circulation, right? I can be able to see who is actually doing this transaction. If you tell me you do a transaction, I'll be able to go on the chain and see, okay, yes, you have made this transaction and it's being confirmed. So those level of immutability, openness, security, decentralized nature, there is no middleman to control how you do the transaction, actually makes it quite different from what we have been using the traditional method.
Okay, now I hear you, but isn't the decentralized nature equally a problem? Seeing as you mentioned earlier, if I can't identify you, I can't know what you're using the money for. Doesn't it make it prone to misuse?
So that's one of the issues where I would think what the SEC is doing. Dr. Agama, I think he has been putting a lot of emphasis on security, because I think the SEC is actually there to protect Nigerians, right?
Okay.
And we have been seeing the collaboration between SEC, EFCC, Interpol, and exchanges.
Okay.
And what they require for everyone to actually do is to actually have your KYC.
Okay.
Businesses are supposed to know their customers, and we are beginning to see technology improve where you are be able to even attach names to wallets. You'll be able to know who is that particular person, even if you are using, let's say, Binance or any other exchanges. You are supposed to do your KYC. Now with that, they will be able to track if those funds are actually used for any illicit purchases or any scam. Yes, we cannot really say you will know everybody, because we have been seeing decentralized platforms where you don't have to do KYCs and you'll be able to do your transaction, transfer as much as millions of USDT without actually having a KYC. Yes, it's going to be an issue, but I believe over a period of time, we are seeing a lot of technology. Even stolen funds now are being tracked, and you can actually recover them. So it's interesting because before you can actually steal funds and people cannot trace, because you must not interact with centralized exchange for them to be able to see. But now people can be able to track. We are seeing we are seeing Hub, we are seeing A&D forensics, chain analysis, and a lot of others companies that can be able to track even stolen funds. So technology will keep improving.
Stolen crypto funds.
Yes, stolen crypto funds can be tracked and even traced to who actually stole that fund.
Okay.
So it's really interesting, and I think with that, the SEC, what they are doing now, Nigerians will be protected.
Okay. You kept on mentioning blockchain, and it seems like crypto is tied to blockchain. First of all, tell us what blockchain is, because I know that beyond crypto, it has so much more.
Exactly.
So
that's a very nice. I think people have been having that misconception of blockchain. When you say blockchain, automatically somebody will just say it's Bitcoin, right? So blockchain is just like the platform where most of these cryptocurrencies are built on. So let's say blockchain is the powerhouse, and there are just nodes of computers that actually validate transactions. Okay, and which means you can build several solutions on the blockchain. Now the first use case was Bitcoin, which is actually tackling the issue of finances. Now we are seeing companies building solutions on the blockchain to handle issue of land entitlements, identity issues, right? So now what I have been always clamoring on is we need to start pushing Nigerians to start looking beyond just cryptocurrencies. We need to start pushing Nigerians to understand this technology, that it's here to actually help your business. We need to start building our youth in such a way they can be able to build technology, learn how to build technology. It's not about just buying meme coin and you want to make money from it, right? We need to see our young ones take the technology, learn how to build on Solidity, learn different programming language. How can you come up with viable solutions? Without doubt, it's going to actually pose a long-term problem for us. Because what we are seeing now is a trend of everybody buying meme coin, everybody tapping his phone because he wants to get an airdrop, right? We are forgetting the fundamental. If you go to China, you see their kids are actually learning this technology, building solutions. So we need to see advocacy programs that pushes youth into learning programming languages on this blockchain, how to build solutions. It should go beyond just buying coins and just making profit. In the long run, we will just be users of the platform, because we are seeing a lot of companies building platforms, and at the end of the day, we'll just be consumers. I think that's one of my key points in. I want to see Nigerians learn more about the technology, far beyond just using cryptocurrency. But the technology, how can we build sustaining solutions for Nigerians by Nigerians?
All right, now you have the opportunity to tell us now, for an SME owner, for SMEs out there in Nigeria, how can crypto and the blockchain work for them?
So let me start with cryptocurrency, because I believe everybody is at the wave of want to buy crypto. So a lot of companies can enjoy seamless payments. Let's be frank, it's way faster, it's more secured to actually do transactions using cryptocurrencies. Now you can integrate with so many. We have seen our CNGN that's released us, I think, last month, and you can actually collect payments using cryptocurrency, which makes it very, very easy. Now beyond that, even using the blockchain, a lot of businesses we have seen, like Sitemap and some other companies, are actually building solutions that handle real estate investment for you to be able to verify your land on the blockchain, know who owns the land. So you cannot even have two people fighting for land now. So businesses are beginning to see, oh, I can actually do something because of the security, because of the openness, because of the level of trust and security on this network. I can build my own platform, which is on the Web 2, now to Web 3, by saying, okay, I just want to pick a simple business now that we have gamers now. Normally you play games without getting rewarded, but we're seeing a lot of gaming companies now even building on the blockchain, which by playing the game you even get incentivized. You get money for playing games now, and you can actually get it directly from those platforms because they are built on the blockchain, which is fast, and you can actually get paid. So Nigerian companies can also adopt the payment part. You can also use the blockchain part for building reliable solutions that can not easily be hacked, that can be trusted by people, and it's open and doesn't really need to be controlled, because that level of control is what a lot of people actually have that issue with. So if I'm building a payment platform and you are able to actually track your payments, it's very easy.
But why would we have a problem with control? I thought control was supposed to help put us...
So, because a lot of control issues now, people don't even follow the guidelines when controlling. You wake up and decide to shut down a system without actually getting approval because you feel it's like this. So that is a major issue. The control has not really helped or given power to the people back. Let's be sincere. That's why we're having this trust issue. But if we are seeing a government that is doing what they said they would do, we will not really have this issue with decentralized systems.
Okay. All right. So we see that Mr. Nwafor has joined us from Lagos. Mr. Obina. All right, so we've just been speaking with Japheth Jackson here. He's a blockchain and crypto expert, and I've just asked him to tell us, how crypto and blockchain can impact SMEs. I'd like for you to drop your thoughts on that as well. All right then. Well, we'll get back to that. Apparently, there's some sort of thing. So let's now go to Nigerians. I'm sure you're very well versed in this, since this is a line you have cited at all. How have Nigerians started using crypto for remittances, investments, and business transactions? Do we have data to actually prove that or show that?
Yes. Interesting. So, Nigeria has been in the top of the adoption. I think we are the first or second.
Number 2 years, last time we checked here.
And just by what Binance was, over 240 or something $billion went through them in transactions. So we have been seeing a lot of transactions. I think in 2021 alone, 2022, we have over, I think, $23 billion worth of transactions on the blockchain, and a lot has come from Nigeria. In fact, one of the reasons they said Nigerians' adoption is unique is because Nigerians don't just buy this crypto to hold it, right? They use it for what it was meant to be done. That's for cross-border payment. I could remember what Jack Dodge said. He said he believes what Nigerians are doing with Bitcoin is the right thing. We don't just buy the cryptos to hold. We buy because you actually transact with it. So a lot of those transactions has actually made Nigeria look, we are so much adapting to it. We might not really have so much money that we're spending, but the use case is what Nigerians are using. So many people have been finding issue, like a major issue to send out dollar out of the country or even receive, right? So, but with cryptocurrency now, people can actually make easy payments. So with that, we see a lot of Nigerians adapting to it. That's why I said Nigerians have that way of adapting to something and making it unique. One, we have the number. We might not really have so much to spend, but the way we have been using cryptocurrency has actually brought Nigerians to the spotlight, and that's really interesting for us. So a lot of money have been going. We might not really have the exact data, to be sincere, because some go on decentralized exchange, which you cannot actually identify if it's Nigerians or not, right? Like we said, some of those identity cannot really be tracked. So we must have been doing way more than is being reported. But for the fact for Nigeria to come at number 2 in global adoption, it means a lot. It means our government needs to start even looking at that field to make sure that there is security, one, and there is a level of acceptance. Because when you keep saying no and no and no, then we keep discouraging people. We have not gotten up to 20 million or 30 million people using the cryptocurrency in Nigeria. So imagine when we have 50 million Nigerians using cryptocurrency or building solution on the blockchain, what the number will be.
All right, I want to go back a bit to something you said earlier about SEC. How have they been able to help in making crypto a more, acceptable form of currency?
Okay, so I really want to appreciate Dr. Agama Sek. He has really done a lot in this space. You know, the moment you see a father that actually wants something, the ease might not come very quickly. I actually told myself, it's high time we just stop, every day keep calling out the government. No, you need to make enabling ground, you need to do this. But we have seen people that actually come into the system, create policies that did not work. But this is the first time we are seeing the SEC actually pushing very close relationship with industry players, coming out with frameworks. Even now at this point now, I think they have a provisional license for some companies that could actually operate. So it shows that it's a step forward, because he has been able to engage with people that are playing, not just sitting in the office. He usually hold meetings with industry players. He hears our complaints, right? He has been hearing all these complaints. So we really appreciate him for what he has been doing, and for even providing the provisional license. It's really interesting for us. And we know it's just a matter of time. Everybody will begin to play according to the rule. So I really appreciate him for that. Even NFIU are really doing well. Dr. I think Gia, the CEO, so he has really helped a lot. I've attended a lot of their trainings on how to do reporting, so which is really nice.
All right. We're going to have to join Mr. Nwafor from Lagos. We've been expecting you. Thank you for joining us again on Business Daily this morning.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so Mr. Obina, could you tell us, as the blockchain person, I'm talking to Mr. Japheth Johnson here in the studio. I'm talking about crypto and blockchain, its effect in the Nigerian business scene and on SMEs. Now, can you tell us how the blockchain can be used, or its impact mostly, your own take, for SMEs in Nigeria?
Okay, so if you look at the micro use cases of blockchain that could affect SMEs, we will talk about the areas of payments, right? So being able to make payments, cross-border transactions, lower fees, that is what blockchain could do for SMEs. So because it opens up a whole new spectrum and of course a new strata of users who could get involved with micro-scale businesses. Now, in areas of also funding for SMEs, there are blockchain solutions that have been created to enable people to be able to crowdfund into businesses at little scales, right? So you could have little contributions towards a project, and you have, at the end of the day, the achievement of the goal. So sometimes in those kind of fundraisings, we have things you say, okay, this is the hard cap, this is the soft cap. These are just blockchain terminology. So what it means is that, say we are looking for maybe $100,000, right? Which is the hard cap. But what can we use to scale this business? If we get to 60,000, we can actually scale the business. But getting to 100,000 will put us at a better position. Now, what happens is that people can come together to put funds into this, all right? And they are investing into this business so that when this business takes off, they are going to become benefactors or sharers of the value that is being generated from these businesses, right? Now, blockchain on its own, it's a solution, it's a technology, but what you do with it is what matters. rightly, most people hear about the cryptocurrency aspect of blockchain technology, and they tend to always confuse that with blockchain because of the insufficient knowledge and education around it. But we always want to tell them that cryptocurrency is not blockchain technology, and blockchain technology is not cryptocurrency. Blockchain technology is the infrastructure, is the backbone, is the main layer. Without blockchain technology, cryptocurrency would not have been possible. But I know where this misconception is coming from, because cryptocurrency has to do with the financial aspect of blockchain. And of course, when you live in a society where everybody is trying to make ends meet, they would always be on the lookout for how to meet those needs, right? It is an innate response from man in general. So over time, you have heard the promotion of cryptocurrency, crypto trading, the crypto market, more than the underlying technology that has made this thing possible. And that is why most of my engagements, over 80% of my engagement, is focused on blockchain technology, because if we get blockchain technology right, then we will get every other thing right.
Okay.
Cryptocurrency is a byproduct. It's just like maybe less than 5% of what we can do with blockchain technology. Of course, we need transactions for a lot of things, so we cannot undermine payments, right? But cryptocurrency as a means of payment can help us to solve the payments challenge that we have in Africa. There is a huge payment challenge in Africa, and nobody has been able to crack that code fully. And I believe that with the full implementation of blockchain, we can crack that code. Another area that we also would have a big solution with that is in financial inclusion for SMEs. You know, for the farmers in the village, they are SMEs. For the market trader, they are SMEs, you know. So when they are able to receive payments and make payments using, I've always advocated for this, can we make the use of blockchain technology as simple as dialing a USSD code and somebody can perform a transaction on the blockchain? They don't need to know what is the underlying infrastructure, right? For example, you use Facebook. You don't actually know the technology that Facebook was built on. You don't know how it works underneath. All you know is that Facebook helps you to connect with people that you have not seen. I mean, there are your mates from primary school whom you have not seen since you left primary school, but you've been able to connect with them on Facebook. That is what you need. The solution, the problem is solving for you. And that is what I have been talking about. And this are the things that you are going to start seeing. We have a company like Zone, which is offering blockchain infrastructures for the payment sector. So you have banks and payment services, you know, those players in the fintech sector, all using Zone's solution. My colleague here, Mr. Jaffet, mentioned Sitemap, which is the solution on the real estate solution on the blockchain. You know, so we have a lot of this coming out. We have charts by Convexity, which is making humanitarian aid easy. So what is that? We know that there is a lot of fraud in the NGO sector, you know, the humanitarian sector, where the aids that are provided does not get to the final beneficiaries that it's supposed to get to. With those solutions, we are dealing with that. We have on-grid protocol coming up, you know, helping people with renewable energy and carbon credits and stuff like that. So there is a whole lot in that low value chain. But like I said, what matters most is what solution you are creating with it. And I will tell you that as it is right now, we have not tapped up to 20% of the capacity and the capabilities of blockchain technology. So the SME sector is not even benefiting as much as it should, where we are in a continent that blockchain has the greatest use case.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. That is quite very, very educated. So I'm still sticking with you. So now, do you think that our Naira's volatility, before I get to that question, what more uses can the blockchain be used for the SMEs? You know, the SMEs in Nigeria make up about, the last time, about 51% of the business and economy in this country, of GDP actually in this country. They make up a lot of, you know, income for us. So now how can they benefit from the blockchain? Away from crypto, what more can be done with blockchain to aid the small, medium and micro enterprises in Nigeria?
Okay, so there is a phrase that I would want to introduce that is called capitalism without capital. Now, what capitalism without capital means is the ability to build a strong economy backed up by internal systems that can be generated within before you begin to expect the external inflows that can give you the push. It is very true that no nation is built from the money generated within it. Maybe that is the reason why North Korea hasn't gone so far, because they are shut to the rest of the world. But you see other countries that are open to the rest of the world. You hear investments that flows in. Take India, for example. India generates over $166 billion annually from tech talents alone. Tech solutions and talents alone. So why is this very important? You know, this is important because we are in an era where you can build systems and share economies. So we need to start reimagining financing. All right, the financing of businesses. This is one area that blockchain technology is going to solve a lot of challenges for SMEs. We are talking about decentralized finance. All right, decentralized finance will give them access to a pool of funds to support their business. It will also give them access to a pool of participators who can contribute into their businesses without having to interact with them in person. It can also give them access to being able to create a platform that allows them to offer services to people across borders without being limited to their immediate environment. So it can give them access to getting their business insured on chain in the case of a natural disaster or unforeseen circumstances that might affect the longevity or lively existence of that business. So what happens is that there are these systems put in place. Sometimes they are in form of smart contracts mostly that can be executed to salvage the situation. Now, what does that do? It also saves them the too many costs and bottlenecks involved in running businesses the traditional means, because those unnecessary middlemen and commission structures which look like a pyramid scheme has been removed, because execution is now from initiator to the end user, from the initiator to the end benefactor, as the case may be. So it is a peer-to-peer system. All right, so you see that they save in a lot when they are, you know, integrated on a blockchain system and the infrastructure. Another thing that we can also look at is how data is being received, how data is being managed, stored, and how data is being transmitted without any breach in the process. Blockchain provides that perfect layer for security with the use of cryptography to make sure that data entries are secured and they are immutable, they cannot be erased, and they are effectively transmitted and broadcasted in a network that everyone can access. It also helps with establishing trust, because in that process you now have transparency unveiled, and once people have transparency, they have trust, and once they have trust, they are able and willing to give you more. That is what blockchain brings. It gives you that power to be able to transmit and transfer and transact your assets on-chain, online. So you can now hold your assets in digital formats online, knowing that you have the absolute control over it.
Okay.
Now, these SMEs can create endless partnerships with their users. When users are effectively rewarded, they feel valued and they become your number one advocate. And I can tell you for free, there is no form of marketing that is still stronger than word of mouth, because word of mouth can travel intercontinental. And if you have the perfect word of mouth from your users, your business is unstoppable. So a lot of SMEs can benefit largely by trying to understand what blockchain technology is, what they can do with it, how they can use it effectively, and they can build global brands and even unicorns out of it.
Okay.
So the possibilities are endless, but we have to start exploring them from the standpoint of first getting the awareness, the understanding, and then integration.
Okay. All right. Back to you, Mr. Jackson. Sorry, Mr. Johnson. I've been calling you Jackson. So he said something earlier about blockchain and corruption. Now, I was going to ask, is it safe to say that blockchain would actually help reduce corruption? But let me hone it down really to the SMEs again, since they are focused. Can blockchain help reduce corruption and improve contract enforcement for SMEs that are dealing with larger corporations and government bodies?
Okay, so that's actually a very good aspect that the blockchain is coming, because we need to understand that technology evolves. Even the fiat we are using, we actually use the mobile banking apps, the central bank, the NIPS. They are all technology, right? And the SME needs to understand that money is also going in a phase of changing now. And one of the things we try to do, even from Hebron, is we need to identify what problem do you want to solve, because a lot of SMEs do not even understand what they want to actually solve. What are their basic challenges? Some SMEs are still battling with even tax now, how to even file their tax and a lot of things. So bringing in the technology before we even get the old technology out, there needs to be that education that needs to be there, right? I always say that we need to educate SMEs first to understand what they are doing. How do they get their accounting right? A lot of companies are having issues with FIRS now because their tax reporting is so poor. So when we get that, then we understand this is what this technology will do. We are not talking about eliminating corruption totally, because it's something that has to go down to our understanding. A lot of people are naturally greedy. So we need to understand this is a system that is coming to bring efficiency, right? It's coming to bring efficiency in such a way that what you have been doing, this stuff can do it even way faster, in a more secured way, and can be more transparent. That's what we're saying. So if the government is adopting this technology now to integrate what the SMEs are doing, what the government or policymakers are doing, who are those taxing these businesses. But we want to see how open it is. If I'm coming to pay my tax for 4 million naira for my business, tomorrow the government should be able to verify that, yeah, he paid 4 million. Not me paying 4 million and what you are giving in the receipt is 2 million. That's what we're saying. So the blockchain, because of the transparency, is going to bring efficiency that every person involved in that circle of trade will be able to trust the system, because everybody can vet. I can know that I paid FIRS 4 million naira. The director or auditor general of the country will be able to vet that, yes, this company paid because it's on chain. No record is being tampered with because it can be changed or paper. So that's what we are saying here. So when we are dealing with corruption, the government, the businesses, that is one of the effective systems that the blockchain is bringing. That openness and security. You can't change record. So that is, I feel, that will actually help the whole situation in what we are doing now.
All right. Our last question, and I'll come back to you, Mr. Iwonu, which would be, can Nigeria position itself as Africa's blockchain hub, benefiting SMEs and startups?
Well, okay, just a little thing to what Mr. Jaffet said. You know, if we can only put the government contracts bidding process and procurement system of blockchain. That would be a bounder. But it may be one of the most difficult challenge that we would face in this country, because you know how corrupt the system is. Secondly, is our database management. I've constantly asked this question: why do I have a BVN? I have an NIN. I have a PVC. I have a national passport. I still have driver's license. Why do I need 5? I just called 5 identities for one person: BVN, NIN, PVC, national driver's license, and my passport. Why don't I have one identity? And whatever I need to do, all you have to do is just put this code, and every information about me will be accessible to you. If I come to your bank, I want to open an account, I give you the code. Once you put it, you see everything about me, and you open my account for me. If I need to vote, I put this code, and it authenticates that I am a citizen of Nigeria, and it is not violent. Why? Because we do not have a database management system. This is what blockchain can solve. So back to your question. You see, where we are with blockchain technology, Nigeria cannot boast to be the #1 blockchain hub in Africa. Nigeria can only boast to be the most interested country on crypto and blockchain in Africa, and #2 globally. There was even a time we were #1. And then when it comes to activities, trade volume, yes, #2 globally. When it comes to Africa, #1. We alone account for over 60% of what happens in Africa. But that does not translate to making you a blockchain hub. If you want to understand what being a blockchain hub is, then look at India with what they did with tech. India became the #1 exporter of tech talents and solutions across the world. A 20-year roadmap, which they started at the wake of the millennium. See the benefits to their country today. That is what Nigeria needs to do. That is what we are advocating. That is why the whole politicking and rolling around the concept of blockchain technology needs to stop, and we take this thing more seriously, because look at it, we are standing at a cross line. And we are 16 years old with this technology. The world is not waiting for us.
Okay.
People are moving, advancing, and catching on.
Okay.
3 years ago, the US had a plan to produce 40,000 blockchain developers. What is Nigeria's plan? Nothing yet.
Okay.
We have a national blockchain policy. But this national blockchain policy is yet to see implementation, and without implementation, it's still a document on paper that does nobody.
Permit us to continue with the conversation. Maybe some other time we'll have you guys again to further discuss this and more, and give us more insights on it. Thank you, Mr. Japheth Johnson, for joining us today on the Business Daily, and equally for Mr. Obi Nwafor from Lagos, who joined us virtually to converse on cryptocurrency, blockchain, its uses, impact on the Nigerian business, and especially for the SMEs. That's the much we have for you today on Business Daily. Same time, same place tomorrow. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms for more news, programs, and documentaries. I am Chiamaka Nwafor. Bye for now.